Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get started in about 5 minutes, so if you guys can start to bring your conversations to an end and turn cell phones on silent, please. We'll get started here in about 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome everybody to the 2018 Fall Sports Banquet. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Miss Bader, can you hear me back there? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. All right, I'll turn it up here in just a little bit because they probably don't talk as loud as I do, the ladies up here at the table. Again, welcome to the 2018 Sports Banquet. This is, as far as I know, a banquet unlike any other that we've ever had because this is the first fall banquet without softball. So the good news is this should be a quick night. And of course, as you can tell, a smaller crowd when you take away 30 girls and 60 parents. So smaller banquet tonight, but still a great banquet as we celebrate the accomplishments of our teams, our fall teams, and also individual accomplishments by our young men and young women. Without any further ado, I'm going to introduce Brittany Kreitler at this time to give tonight's invocation. So Brittany, come on up.
Everyone, please bow your heads. Lord, thank you for gathering us all here tonight to celebrate our athletes and all of their accomplishments. We thank you for the food tonight and pray everyone gets home safely. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Brittany. Great job. Okay, we're going to go ahead and eat, and we'll do the ceremony part after we eat. As usual, we'll have the head table eat first. And I'm also going to do something different that I've never done before. I've usually drawn the tables beforehand, I'm going to do it right here in front of everybody. So if I can be your friend and I can be your enemy real quick. So we're going to do it right now. You ready? Okay, this is going to be table 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the table that will eat first is table 3. Then table 2 will be next. So table 3, table 2, table 1, and table 4 eats last. All right. Head table, we can go on up. The bum gardeners waited to see what tables we... Yeah, sure can. I was thinking about that earlier. Yes. Because I accidentally gave Sierra a silver one. Yeah. I gave you the wrong one for Maddie, so I made you the right one. I've started.
Her other ones, you made the right one.
Oh,
That's
I did.
just another.
Oh, okay.
That's like a third.
Okay,
I
good.
saw that, I was like, I'm so confused now.
Do you want this
Okay.
one too from her?
So I made 2 of them?
Well, you made the right one. The right one's in the
Okay.
back. So you made 3.
I had to get it right sooner or later, right?
Cash was in there.
Okay.
50-50, and there's the
Thank you. Surprised Uzel's not here. Looks like a pretty good turnout in general. That's David. Rachel, did I hear her say that Ryan's expecting a baby? Really? Didn't know that. Well, good for them. Good for them. How far along is she? Hey,
Everybody's here from here, right?
should be.
Nobody's really going out.
Okay.
Back there.
Yep. There's one unrolled right here and one on the other side. That's pretty focused. If you are thinking about seconds, there's plenty of food up there, so don't be shy. There's plenty of food if you're thinking about seconds. You know, we only gave out about half the candy we usually do. We usually buy about $100 worth of candy.
That's what Roxy Jokers.
Yep.
You guys didn't hand out as much.
Not near as much. I mean, just because of the rain, I'm sure.
Well, we handed out at least to 75 kids because that's how many bracelets I put on kids. About 75 glow bracelets.
It's usually much more than 75
Yeah.
out there.
Well, and everybody that came over brought a bag of candy. We didn't get halfway down the bowl. It was.
Yeah.
Oh well, next year.
Yeah.
Next year will be the one.
gig.
Okay, I've heard it.
Yeah. In St. John, you'll find that one name can be pronounced 2 or 3 different ways. And like Dunzy and Donzy, Nager, Nagger, Geg, Geck.
So no matter which way I say it. I'll probably end up saying it to both different ways on accident.
Yeah. And you know what? Nobody will think anything of it. They really won't. I mean,
All year I thought it was gay, and then I heard someone say
it can go either way. Fallert, Fallert. I've heard it pronounced Fallert. A lot of different last names pronounced the same way. And they'll take the same last name and they'll tweak it. So like Jokerst and Joggerst. At some point, like one of them dropped from the rest of the family and started their own long, long, long ago. Wiener and Wayner. Hook and Huck. Huck and Huck. If anybody needs to use the restroom or just get up and stretch, we're going to go ahead and get started with the ceremony part in 3 minutes. So 3 minutes from now, we'll get started. and get started? Okay, thank you. First of all, how about a nice round of applause for our kitchen staff for the lovely meal we had this evening. They did a tremendous job as usual. Again, I want to welcome everybody to the banquet, now the ceremony part of the banquet. You know, sports is a big deal in St. Genevieve, and it has been for a long time. It's important to a lot of people. It's important to our students. It's important to our parents, obviously to our coaches, our administrators, and so on and so on. And the reason that it's so important is because we know as a community the hidden curriculum and the lifelong lessons that are learned by playing sports, such as discipline, learning how to handle wins and losses, learning how to handle when you get what you want, and learning how to handle when you don't get what you want. And those are just a few of the things, teamwork, and I could go on and on. There's just a lot of things that are out there and ready for your children, our student athletes, to learn from their experiences with athletics. So I thank you. I am honored to be the athletic director in such a great community and a great school district where not only is athletics important, but academics are a high priority as well. And again, like I said, I'm honored to be a part of it all, and I thank you all for everything that you guys do, including being here tonight. I'm going to introduce our coaches at this time. Starting to my immediate right is our head cross-country coach, and that is Sierra Boyd. To her right is our middle school cross-country coach, but she also helps out with the high school program, and that is Haley Fallert. To her right is our girls golf coach. She's also our boys golf coach, but in the fall, of course, we do girls, and that is Rachel McDaniel. To her right is our freshman volleyball coach, Louise Robertson. Head volleyball coach, Jess Fallert. And last but not least, to her right is our JV volleyball coach, Crystal Kuehnel. Keenel? Keenel. Okay. All right. Yeah, we had some interesting conversation up here while we were eating. I wasn't doing any talking because I was eating the whole time, but a little bit of talk about dogs, babies, hair, no talk about hunting. So like I said, I just ate the whole time and listened. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and start with each of our programs. We're going to start this evening with cross country, and Coach Boyd is going to do all of the talking with cross country. Coach Fallert's going to help her out a little bit with handing out awards. So come on up. You're up.
You want to move the mic down for me? Well, good evening. With this year being my first year of coaching, I am very grateful for all the support that I received this season. And thank you to all the parents for driving the kids to practices, hosting team pasta dinners, and the several other ways that you showed your support this season. Thank you to Mr. Nix for having an open door anytime I needed guidance, and thank you to the administration for the support of our program. Thank you to Coach Fallert for positive energy at every practice and meet. We worked well together, and I look forward to coaching with her in coming years. No pressure. I would like to thank Jason Viox and the entire Herald staff for all of the sports coverage throughout the season, as well as Tyler Brown from Potential Therapy, who was very helpful throughout the season when injuries arose. So just thank you to all of those that I've mentioned and the many others who support the program. Now for a little review of our season before we move on to the individual athletes themselves. Although we only had 3 girls this season, they came in and worked very hard. And with the 8th grade girls joining them next season, it'll be nice to see a larger group of girls being able to work together. On the boys team, we had 10 boys, 7 of them were freshmen. With that being said, we ran several JV races this season and saw success at the JV level. We started the season at Forest Park, and although it was a very muddy mess, everyone who raced started their season with a strong start. The boys finished 4th in the white gold JV division, and 3 of them medaled. Our next race was a Festus Invitational. A couple boys who had not been able to race at Forest Park were able to race, which was a positive. And we split the boys with some racing varsity and some racing JV to go ahead and give some of them the opportunity to get that taste of the varsity level. Moving into the next meet, we raced at Cape Notre Dame in the JV race. The boys placed 5th as a team, and 3 of them earned medals. Each time the boys or girls earned medals, they were always thoroughly excited, which was one of the best parts. The following week, we raced at Potosi, which doubled as the conference meet. The boys team ran in the varsity race and placed 5th in the conference. Devon St. Clair earned all conference honors after placing 8th in the conference rankings. And Alina earned a medal in the invitational results. Our final race before districts was the Borgia Invitational. 4 out of the 6 boys and both girls who raced ran their season PR at Borgia. It is always great to see their times improve as the season goes on. 2 boys and 1 girl earned medals at the JV race at Borgia. Our season came to a close at the district meet. The boys placed 10th as a team, and we did not have a full team racing for the girls. Now that I've given a recap of the season meets, I would like to recognize each of the athletes individually. So as I call your name, please come to the front and see Coach Fowler, and then line up across the front. I'll start with the girls team. Sophomore Alina Bader was sophomore Alina Bader, you can clap now. Alina was dedicated throughout the season, showing up for both morning and afternoon practices. Alina usually was pretty quiet, but it always brought a smile to my face when I saw her cracking a joke or smiling. She earned a couple medals this season, and it was great to see the joy on her face when she did. Sophomore Alyssa Fanistock. Alyssa also came in for both morning and afternoon practices this season. Although she battled some aches and pains over the course of the season, she was able to race at a few meets and showed improvement throughout the season. Senior Maddie Huffstetter. Maddie was very busy this year with various activities at the beginning of her senior year, but we were glad she was able to join us. Maddie also battled pain in her lower legs, so she was only able to race once this season. She was a trustworthy senior to lead abs or tell some of the underclassmen to straighten up at times. That's all for our girls team, so we'll be moving on to the boys team. You can stay. You get to stay. Freshman Keegan Smith, I don't think he was able to join us tonight. Freshman David Boyer. David came to the team shortly after the school year started, and although he had not been able to run much before the season started, he pushed himself throughout the entirety of the season. Freshman Xander Goodell. Who is not able to join us tonight, so we'll go ahead and move on. Freshman Levi Wiegand. Levi ran in both the JV and varsity races this season and earned 2 medals in a couple of the JV races. It was good to see him. It will be good to see him continue to improve this track season. Freshman Lucas Smith. Lucas was also in our group of boys who switched between the JV and varsity races throughout the season. Levi and Lucas were a goofy duo this year and seemed to compete with one another in silliness. Freshman Nathan St. Clair. Nathan was at morning practices, even if he came in sleepwalking, and he was able to run in both the JV and varsity races this season. He started the season strong and hit a bit of a speed bump in the middle with some hip pain, but was able to come back to finish the season. Freshman Mason Gick. Mason was disciplined and consistently came to both morning and afternoon practices with a hardworking attitude. He ran in both JV and varsity races this season and earned a couple medals in the JV races. He is still anxiously awaiting his medal from the Borgia meet since we had to leave early due to it being homecoming. Sophomore Sean Uzel is not able to join us tonight. Sophomore Devin St. Clair. Devin was dedicated and shows a bright future. He ran in both the JV and varsity races. He will need to step up next year and be a leader as there will be no seniors. Senior Brandon Eisenman. Brandon was our only senior on the boys team. He fought hip and back pain throughout the season but was able to race at 3 meets. He ran his season PR at districts, which was a nice way to end his season. That concludes our boys team as well. Now that all our cross-country athletes have been recognized, I've got a few season awards to hand out. Our first award is the boys' most spirited runner. He was full of energy, enthusiasm, and determination. And the thing I most liked to see was his positive attitude each day. This award goes to Mason Gick. Our next award is the boys' most improved. He showed a decrease in his race times and a continued focus on improvement. This award goes to Levi Wiegand. The girls' most spirited runner was positive even when facing struggles, and she encouraged positivity among others on the team. And this award goes to Maddie Hufstetter. Next up is the girls' most improved award. She decreased her race time during the season and stayed dedicated. This award goes to Alina Bader. This year, I chose a team leader for the entire team. This person showed an example of dedication and hard work through their actions. The team leader award goes to Devin St. Clair. The team had an incentive program this season and had the opportunity to earn schools throughout the season with weekend practices or running a PR at a meet. Devin reached over 10 schools, so he will be receiving a Dairy Queen gift card as part of our incentive program. We had a young team this season, but they were a fun group. If the kids put in the mileage and hard work necessary, they have a bright future ahead of them. I look forward to continue coaching and working with them.
Yeah, you can go sit down. After it's over, right? Oh, we'll do it after it's over. Otherwise, we'll be sitting around waiting. No, you have to stay. All right. Congratulations, cross-country team. As you can see, very young group, very dedicated group, and we see a bright future with them in the next few years. Another thank you really quick before we turn it over to the volleyball coaches. We have 3 booster officers that were here tonight working that do a fantastic job with a lot of different aspects, and it's all behind the scenes. You know, not only working concessions, but getting other people to work concessions, ordering food for the concessions, helping run the banquets. There's just a lot of things that they do that a lot of people don't even know about. But we appreciate everything they do, especially when they're buying things for our athletic programs, which they do pretty often. I want to thank those 3 officers that are here, and that's Carla Bullock, Sandy Gegg, and Carrie Staffen. I also want to thank all of you who became members this year. Again, the money goes to great things. They go to buying supplies and big ticket items for our programs, but also every year we do. Last year we did 2 senior boy scholarships and 2 senior girl scholarships with the money that we had. So again, it goes to a good cause. We appreciate you guys who are members. Turning it over now to volleyball, and we'll just do one after the other, starting with freshman volleyball, then going to JV, and then eventually to varsity. So Coach Robertson, come on up.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. I wanted to kind of joke around about that I'm glad that if Mr. Nix was going to announce what we were all talking about up here, that he wasn't sitting next to me.
Yeah, I saw the look on your face.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
As I announce a freshman, I want you to come up and Coach Keenel will give you your certificate. Any managers, you won't be announced until the varsity, so don't think I left you out. And then also, any freshmen who played junior varsity, I still want you to come up, but you will not receive your certificate until we announce JV. So don't think we forgot about you. All right, when I call your name, come grab your certificate and then let us see your beautiful shining face. Miss Jaden Pullins. Miss Kelly Schweigert. Miss Kylie Clayton. Miss Isabel Bosler.
Jaden, you might want to go down a little bit more, because there'll be a bunch
Miss
of you.
Jessica Brown. Miss Abigail Moore. You can totally block me. I'll probably do better. Miss Paige Hook. Miss Haley Austin. And Miss Elizabeth Bosler. And Miss Elizabeth Haas. You were the 4th one down. I wish I could say that would be my only mistake of the night, but we all know me a little better than that. I just want to say a couple of things. First of all, to all the freshman parents who helped make the freshman volleyball tournament that we host every year a success. I really appreciate your efforts in bringing in food. And I had parents coming in and setting up the hospitality room without me even asking anything of them or requesting anything. And we all know probably at least 1 or 2 of your daughters didn't tell you anything until the night before, even though we were telling them a week or 2 in advance. So thank you so much for making that much easier on all of us. I'd like to start off by congratulating them on just an amazing summer attendance. For those of you who aren't aware, summer is not a joke. We really push these girls hard in conditioning, and then when they think their workout is over, there's a whole nother workout. And then on days we start off with conditioning, and then we have practice after that. It's just a lot of the athletes today don't really get a summer, and they put in a lot of hard work, and I was very proud of our attendance and our work ethic every day. I would also like to thank you for putting up with my obnoxious excitement for perfect push-ups this year. While their eye rolling might have gotten stronger, so did their triceps. And then I would like to apologize for how many times I yelled at your daughter and called them the wrong name. I don't know if you heard the list we have here, but we have an Elizabeth and Isabel and another Elizabeth, and one goes by Izzy and one goes by Lizzie and one goes by Liz, and I was just constantly yelling the wrong thing at the wrong child, and then I'd have two people, huh? Like, anyway, so that was definitely, I think, my first year having difficulties with the tongue twisters there. And then I will leave you with, as I have been able to the last 3 years here, my only 3 years at St. Genevieve. Thank you very much for letting me remain undefeated against Valley Catholic. For those of you who were in attendance at Valley Catholic that night, if you were like me, Crystal, and Jess, and you needed like 57 chiropractor appointments from sitting on the bleachers for 17 hours straight, we literally utilized every minute of volleyball possible, every point possible, every line judge, bookkeeper, coach, referee in the building. These girls definitely made them earn their money that night. It was the longest night of volleyball of my life, but it was super fun, and we always keep it interesting, don't we, ladies? So thank you very much for that. I had a wonderful season, and I hope to see everybody out in the spring to work even harder. Round of applause.
Oh my God. I never realized how short I am till I come to one of these and the microphone's above my head. Oh my stars. Okay. First, I want to start off by thanking Jess and Luis. If you've ever come to one of our volleyball games, you'll see us laughing, you'll see us sometimes crying, you'll see us sometimes angry, in deep discussion, and there is no other pair of people I would rather spend my late nights, my long bus rides, my hours over summer, in the fall, and the spring with, because they're like my sisters now. They're family, and we fight, we quarrel, we hug, we laugh, we cry, we do all of it. See, she's doing it right now. I'm predictable. I wouldn't be able to do it without them. And this isn't surprising, right? The girls make fun of us because we're kind of like that. So anyways, well, I'm just gonna introduce my players, and we'll wipe away all the tears, right? All right, so first I'm gonna start off with my sophomores, Macy Reynolds. I've had the joy of having Macy on my team the past 2 years, and I have seen her grow as a player. Last year, it was more me telling her what to do. This year is a conversation. And the longer the season went on, the less I had to tell her where to go. And that smile that she has, it's like that all the time. And it's contagious. So I love her, and I'm gonna be sad that she won't be able to be on my team next year, finally. No offense, but I love you. You could, you could be on my team because we're the same height. All right, my next one is Molly Barr. Molly and I are synced at the brain, and she was my setter, and at the very beginning of the season, I had such confidence in her as a player that I thought we would be able to run a 5-1, which for my non-volleyball people, it means that she's the only setter on the court, and there's 5 other players kind of around her. That's really challenging. It's not an easy task, but I knew she could do it. But because of other obligations, she ended up doing so well, she ended up being needed up at the varsity level. We had to make other things work. But my favorite thing is whenever I'd look at her on the court, I'd just go, Molly, and we'd make eye contact, and she knew exactly what I was saying. She would do it. And it was amazing. I didn't even have to speak the words. We were in sync.
And it's great. And plus, she'd always sometimes give me her funny eyebrow raise, which meant like, are you sure? But it always ended up working. Addie Taylor. Addie, I knew from the get-go all summer she was going to be one of my starting 6 players. I just didn't know where because she has so many talents. She could hit the ball pretty much wherever she wanted to. She's a really good passer, and she has beautiful hands to set. And so I was like, I just don't know where we're going to put her. And then we did find her hole. We found her home in setting. And the day I told her, I was a little nervous. I was like, okay, hey, I want you to come work with the setters with me. Her smile just exploded off her face. And I was like, oh, good, we have the same thought. And she ran with it all year long from that moment on. And I was incredibly proud of her for putting her in that new position. Our next one is Jaden Weiner. Jaden is probably the quietest person, not only on our team, but in this cafeteria right now. Like, we could probably all say that. She's very quiet, but don't let that fool you. She's incredibly powerful. I think she surprised some of the team. She kind of snuck up out of them. She's like sneaky, good hitter, and she's incredibly talented. I'm really excited to see her continue to get more consistent and become an even better varsity player next year. Our next one is Allison Braun. I am super proud of Allison. She just started playing volleyball really last year. Is that fair to say, last year? Yeah. This year, like, the growth that she had in 2 years is unbelievable. I could put her in the back row, and she knew, like, if she made a mistake, she's like, I need to do this, and she would fix that mistake right away. She was very smart, and she's an incredibly hard worker, and I know that if she continues to work and continues to persist, she's going to get even better than that. So I'm incredibly proud of you, Allison. You did an amazing job this year. Abby Moore. I had the pleasure of coaching Abby when she was 9 years old, right? Wasn't that a long time ago? She's grown a little bit since then. But not much, because you notice our team's not real tall. But she was my big middle hitter in the sense she led our team in blocks and she led our team in kills. My favorite moment was our last game against Jackson, and we had just been working on some different shots for her to work on, just because she was good, and I was like, yeah, but we can be better. And we just literally the day before started working on sixes, which is where she has to do a different transition. It's a complicated play. In the middle of the game, we're struggling. They had a big blocker, and I was like, run a 6. She's like, okay. Got a kill, win the game, done. And I was like, holy cow. The excitement on her face afterwards and on the team's face afterwards after she did that was absolutely awesome. So imagine if you keep practicing that, how much better it's going to be. So thank you. Haley Austin, you're next. Haley was opposite of Abby. She was my other middle hitter, and we worked on same thing, working on different shots, and she was the same way. Learning how to hit in different directions. Like when she would do it in the middle of the game, she'd turn around and look at me like, I did it. And I'm like, yeah, let's keep going. Like we still got to keep winning here. And so that's the same thing with Abby. She's so incredibly athletic and so talented that her future is endless, both of them. They're going to be quite the counterpart working with each other for the next 4 years. Liz Bosler. Liz was one of our outside hitters, and she was actually second in our kills department. I loved Liz. Whenever she made a mistake, her face got real eye big, and she'd look at me like, sorry? And then she would turn around and fix it, usually. She never had a whole lot of confidence in herself, and I would always tell my setters, like, oh, set Liz. And she's like, no, why are you sitting me? But she's really, really talented and an incredible player. Paige Hook. So I love Paige because every time if she made a mistake on the court, her first instinct was to giggle, smile, and be like, sorry, and then move on to the next play. She never let anything really bother her. At least she never showed that it bothered her. And so it doesn't matter what point of the game it was, if it was a tight game or we were being blown out or if we were winning by a lot. She had the same reaction, and I think that's a really good trait to have for the future, Paige. Don't lose that. I like that, so keep that. So I'll talk about our season a little bit. We ended up our season at 14-6, which is actually a very good season for us. We actually, at the end of the season, right after our tournament is where we hit our stride. We ended up going from that point on 9-1, with our only loss coming from Farmington, and I know if we played them one more time, we would have them. It was a very fought, evenly matched game, but I think we could take them, and I know we can. Being the JV team is kind of difficult because you're getting pulled at different ends. Sometimes players, the freshmen had to play so many sets with freshmen. Sometimes the sophomores would have to have so many sets for varsity. And that means constantly changing our lineup. That means constantly changing our plan. And these girls were very strong and talented enough that whatever our lineup was, they were able to run with it and then be successful with it. We started off our season, I was really excited because we were playing Festus, and I saw over the summer, we were really good. Like, we had a lot of tools, we had a lot of just skills that I was like, this is gonna be an awesome season. And then we came to our first game in Festus, and we kind of flopped. And I think we all went home and we're like, oh, this is what we thought it was going to be. But instead of letting that kind of determine the rest of our year, we kind of turned a page. We got a few wins under our belt, we gained a little bit of confidence, and all of a sudden, we kind of got on a roll. Once we hit our JV tournament, I was a little unsure how we'd do. We had a couple of players that couldn't play because of total games and tournaments played, so I just stuck with my core, and they did a lot better than I think they thought they were going to do. They ended up winning their pool and going on to the gold bracket and playing against St. Pius. We had actually just played St. Pius like a week earlier, and we battled for 3 long sets with them. We ended up losing in the 3rd set, 3 close games. And the coach afterwards even commented, she's like, you are the toughest, scrappiest team we have played all year. And I don't know if you know anything about St. Pius. They have a history of a very strong volleyball program. And for her to say to us that, even like us down a couple of players, like I thought that was incredibly impressive. And I was really, really proud of the girls for working together then. And even though it was a loss, it was a win in my book. From that point, like I said, we went 9-1. We didn't turn back. Farmington was our only loss, and like I said, we would get them if we saw them again. One of my favorite things about the team is that in practice when we would work on all these different things, whether it's talking about like telling them where position to be in, working on new hits, working on setters taking the ball over in the second hit and hitting different spots, all of a sudden I started seeing them getting the confidence using those skills in the game, and to me that was the best part, is to see them see the joy when they did it right, and for me to realize, hey, yeah, you've been working on that, great job, and their teammates would recognize that too. So the perseverance, hard work you guys have endless goals. The possibilities are completely up to you. I wish you guys all the best of luck, and I can't wait to see how you guys turn out in the future.
Raise that up a bit. All right. Well, good evening. I'm Coach Fowler. The Dragon volleyball team this season was very successful. The girls put in a lot of hard work and effort that showed through. I'd like to start out tonight by sending out a few thank yous. And first and foremost, I'm going to thank my husband to allow me to do what I love to do. And he had a rough go at it this volleyball season with a baby with colic. And on top of that, she doesn't take a bottle, so his evenings were long, to say the least. So thank you very much. Another thank you to both of our moms who tremendously helped making this all possible for me. So, moving on to more thank yous. Next, I'd like to thank, I would like to first start out by thanking, first and foremost, the parents for all the dedication to the team with endless trips, pregame meals, and constantly washing uniforms. Next year, I'm working on getting a set of green and white, hopefully, so we don't have to do laundry so much. The list goes on and on. The team's success would not have been possible with the backbone behind the players, and we all know how much the parents do. Next, I'd like to thank the various media outlets, Jason Viox at the Herald, KFMO, KTJJ, Todd at a Maritime, and the Daily Journal for publishing articles and posting scores. And a huge thank you to our own SGHS media class and others that covered our game.
It is super nice to have followers all across the U.S. watching our games. I also received numerous compliments of how funny our commentators were. My mom always got a kick out of the commentators, so she had a good time watching. I would also like to thank my assistant coaches, Crystal and Louise, for keeping me in check and recording games and helping with stats. It's a huge blessing. As a coaching staff this season, we had quite a few curveballs thrown at us. I had a baby. Crystal got married. Coach Robertson's family had some medical issues, and my car was stolen. It made me miss a game, so that was, not too much fun. But through it all, we remained a team of coaches and strived for the best within the program and pushed our girls to achieve their best. So without them, a lot of this wouldn't have been, we make a good team. We all say that, so it's really true. Another thing that made the Dragon volleyball program super successful were the team of managers we had. We had 4 managers, Ellie, Megan, Emma, and Lana. The 4 managers were always on top of filming, drills, keeping score of whatever needed to be done. They were also crucial members of our cheering squad that kept things positive and upbeat during our games. And I'll also say, one time, I don't remember who, somebody got a really bad bloody nose, so I'm in the bathroom dealing with that, and I go, run this drill. And I come back in the gym, and Megan's out there running the drill. She's got this. It was awesome. The managers had it all down. They covered me. They got it all ready to roll. So it's pretty awesome to have 4 great managers that help keep the gym rolling when things throw us a curveball. I also owe a huge thank you to the Spirit crowd. The intensity that you all bring to our games is unlike any other. I received numerous compliments on your enthusiasm and team spirit. We appreciate your support. We are lucky to have such a great atmosphere at our games. I'd also like to thank all our workers that helped at the games. Lines, Mike McDaniel and Nikki Reed and Ann Reynolds. Score table, Kelly Sokowski and book, Regina McDaniel and Athena McLean. You all make my life way easier and are always willing to help out when needed. It takes a lot of people to put on a sporting event, so thank you. Now on to our season. The season didn't come the easiest for us. We ended the season 19, 12, and 4, which is a great record. But we are a young team with lots of ambition. The girls put in hard work and effort, but the wins just didn't come as I had hoped. We had some ups and downs, but one thing remained constant. This team was always full of jokes and fun. There were numerous times I had to do a double take. Did I just hear that correctly? And then I think to myself, should I laugh? Or it's probably not appropriate, should I not? And I'll be honest, I always did laugh at their jokes because they're funny. We also had what I like to call our frenemies. We had Megan and Ella, Jada and Megan, Ella and Macy, just to name a couple. And usually I have to step in and like, hey, you two, be nice to each other. But they always were lighthearted and had some fun, but they kept it entertaining, that's for sure. And I'd usually have to threaten push-ups or just tell them to be nice, or they'd play a joke on someone, usually Megan. Try to get Megan to say something. I had to be on Megan's side numerous times, so anyway. Game by game, we worked through the season. Some wins, some losses, some ups, some downs. But I always thought this team should have won more games and had more potential than what I was seeing. Not necessarily that they were bad, but knew they could achieve more. I had more ambition for them. The talent was there, we just had some issues coming together as a team. In numerous games, we were just so close, but we just could not finish with that win. We'd just be right there, but not push for the win. And then I saw a change. I really felt like we started to mesh really well at the Valley game. That's when I finally saw them come together as one, all meshing together. All 3 sets were point for point, and that's when I saw the girls really push and fight for the win. It took 12 girls to win that match, and it was awesome. It was an awesome night of volleyball, like as Louise mentioned, on all 3 levels. From there, we went to the conference tournament, getting the 4 seed, playing Valley once again. The first set went pretty bad. We lost 25-16, but then we quickly recovered, going point for point again, battling for the win. That was a huge comeback, and that's when I really saw the fight that they had. From there, we played AV and Farmington in the conference, but we played decent but came up short. But I still felt like as a team we were playing some of our best volleyball. Then on to districts. We were moved to districts playing Southern teams this year, and this was our first year putting in that Southern district, so we didn't quite know what to expect. Our first game was Donovan, then on to Dexter and Cape Notre Dame. In the Dexter game, at some point, I saw the drive and ambition on the girls' faces, and I knew they were going to win district. I just looked up and looked at them, and I said, there's no way that this team is going to let us lose this tonight. I've always told them, and I say this numerous times throughout the season, it doesn't matter how your season goes up to this point. All that matters is we play our best ball in October. We were truly playing our best ball at the right time this season. That week of districts, I couldn't have been more proud of our girls. They brought their A game and battled for every point. And as a coach, I couldn't have been proud of them more as a coach, and I couldn't have asked more from them. They really brought it that week, and I can't say that enough how proud I was of them. So now I'm gonna go, that's a basic, we won districts, and I guess I should have put that at the end. And like I said, I looked up at one point in that game, and I just saw the drive that they had, and it was a really, really awesome week of volleyball. So now I'm going to move on and talk about the individual players. I'm going to first start out and bring up my 4 managers, Ellie, Megan, Emma, and Lana. These 4 were, you guys can come on up, and they have your plaques for you. These 4 were on top of things. I'm talking they have the balls out before I even get up to the gym for practice. They're running drills when I need to step away. Cheering on the team. Emma missed a game once, and I'm like, where's Emma? We need her cheering, because she is an awesome, one game, sorry. And I'm like, man, Emma, she's they were on top of all aspects of the team, and they truly made the team who they were as well. They were a crucial part. So you 4, you guys did an awesome job. They didn't mess up a single thing of film, which I don't know if that's, I think last year you guys didn't mess up at all either, but this year, before I'd always miss some of my film, and my film is important now because I send it off for stats, so it's a crucial aspect that I get the film right, and hey, they did 100%, so I'm proud of them. Anyway, on to our sophomores. First sophomore is Molly Barr. Molly was a setter for us. She had 180 assists, 16 aces, and 3 kills. Molly has one of the best personalities of any volleyball player I've coached. She's always positive, upbeat, and has something funny to say. Or if she doesn't have anything funny to say, she's gonna make a funny face and then just make me laugh anyway. So she's a great person to have on the court, and she leads the game in a positive direction. Next up, we have Macy Reynolds. Macy played defense for us this year and had 17 receptions, 18 digs, and 3 kills. I can't wait. She played a crucial part for us in the North County tournament, and I can't wait for her to play next year. Next up, we have Brittany Kreitler. Brittany was also a setter for us. She led the team in assists with 471. She had 4 kills, 22 aces, and 146 digs. She's a solid setter with a ton of potential for the future. Brittany is by far one of the hardest workers in the gym. If she continues, she will be a one-of-a-kind setter. Next up, we have Marissa Fleeg. Marissa started playing right side for us this year, which I switched her and Sydney to this position due to their blocking ability. She really grew as the season went on and became quite the secondary setter. She had 28 assists, 102 kills, and 43 total blocks, and 7 solo blocks. Next up, we have Sydney Bumgarner. Our right side duo there. Sydney also played right side. As the season progressed, she grew into her role as a secondary setter. I think they were both kind of unsure of it at first. But at practice, Sydney was always eager to work on different sets and to run plays. She had 41 assists, 188 kills, 55 server receptions, and 29 total blocks. Cindy would be the one sometimes on the court. She would make a mistake or do something. Coach, I got this. Give me the ball again. Come on, give me the ball. And that was exactly how she did it. So anyway, next up we have juniors, and our first junior is Julie McClin. Julia was a returning middle for us who ran quite the force out of the middle slot. She was our second leading attacker with 219 kills, led the team in blocks with 67 total blocks and 12 solo. She also had 96 service receptions. I can't wait to see what her senior year has in store for her. Julia also earned second team all-conference as well as second team all-district. Next up, we have Jada Grimminger. Jada is a returning libero with 404 digs, 356 receptions. Jada also earned first team all district. Her quickness on the court is one of the best assets to her as a libero, and I know she will continue to improve throughout her senior season. Next up, we have Megan Schweiert. Megan was a returning defensive specialist. Her and Jada work well together in the back row. Megan had 247 serving attempts with only 10 errors. I noted that today. So that's pretty dang good. So she also had 264 service receptions and 148 digs. She's quite the passer, and her senior year, I know, will be her best. Chloe Unterreiter. Chloe was returning from an injury this year, only starting about halfway through this season. She returned as a setter, getting 68 assists, 3 kills, and her stats do not show how she helped the team. Now that she is healed and is ready to roll into her senior year, she has quite the potential on the court. She primarily played setter for this year, but last year I had her a little bit everywhere, and she played outside in a little, various positions. So who knows what next year has in store for Chloe. Next up, we have Ella Reed. Ella played middle for us this year. She had 149 kills, 5 assists, 45 service receptions, and 38 total blocks. She also led the team in aces with 43. She had a great serve and hope to nail down that consistency before next season because it is a killer serve. Ella's a great middle, and I can't wait to see where she plays next year or if she'll stick there. We'll see. Next up, we have Haley Grass, senior. Haley was a returning outside. She has a tremendous arm swing and is able to place the ball nicely on the court. Haley had 114 kills, 100 service reception, 15 total blocks. Haley has been a huge asset to the program over the past 4 years, and her presence will be missed. She rarely has missed a workout or anything in her 4 years on the program. So she was a very dedicated senior that will be missed. Next up, we have Jen Humble, last but not least. Jen is a returning outside for us, and she also led the team in kills with 242 kills. 32 aces, had 529 service receptions, and 359 digs. Jen has played all the way around for us for the past 2 years, as well as being a member of the varsity squad for the past 3 seasons. Jen has been a part of the program's success and will leave a big spot to fill. She also earned first team all-conference and first team all-district. These 2 seniors are one of a kind. They have worked hard day in and day out for the last 4 years. These 2 seniors have started off. These 2 seniors, their class, started out, I think, I don't know the exact number, but 12 or 14, and we're down to 2 dedicated players. They are 2 of the most driven athletes that I've had in the program. I wish you 2 nothing but the best and live out the rest of your senior year. Now we're going to move on to plaques, and these are voted on by the team. So the first plaque I'm going to give out is the most valuable defensive player. And the team voted the most valuable defensive player to Jada Grimminger. Next up, we have the most valuable offensive player. The team voted Sydney Baumgarter. And the Shatron Spirit Award goes to Molly Barr. And the team voted the most valuable player goes to Jennifer Humble. Now I'm going to move on to some medals, and these are just strictly stat driven. So our leading digger with the most digs of 397 is Jada Grimminger. Most assists goes to Brittany Kreitler with 406. Most service receptions goes to Jennifer Humble with 511. The best service reception rating goes to Jada Grimminger. Most kills goes to Jennifer Humble with 236. And the most stuff blocks goes to Julia McClellan with 11 stuff blocks, and she also had 55 blocking assists, so I wanted to add that. And the most A serves goes to Ella Reed with 42. Thank you, ladies, for one great year. October was a great ride. Well, the whole season was, but October was awesome, to say the least. You guys, I cannot say how proud I am of these girls. To the younger classmen, learn from this and set your goals high. We came into this season off of 2 previous district championships, and we weren't going to set our goals any lower. So for the younger classmen, set your goals high. Seniors, you know I wish you nothing but the best and enjoy the rest of your senior year. It will fly by.
Okay, thank you very much. Macy, I also have that outfit. I'm glad I didn't wear it tonight. That would have been awkward. I don't think a lot of people realize how tough our volleyball schedule is. When you go up and down that schedule every year, it's very tough, and we have it that way for a reason. When you have a strong program year after year, that's what you want. And the reason you want that is because of the result that you get at the end of the season. And this year was, like Coach Fallert said, our 3rd district championship in a row. When you play a tough schedule all year, you prepare yourself for those types of teams. And all 3 of those years, we've never gone into the district tournament thinking, oh, we're going to walk right through with this, because there's been good teams every single year, and that was no different this year. We were a 2 seed and could have very easily been a 3 seed going into that tournament, and came out champions. I'm a pessimistic viewer, I guess, when it comes to sports. When I watch our volleyball team or our football team or whoever, I'm always thinking, oh, that's it, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. We just dropped that ball, we're going to lose. I'm just a pessimistic person. I don't know why I am. Maybe I should work on that. But like Coach Fallert said, when I was watching our girls during the district tournament, when they beat Dexter, really when they won the 2nd set against Dexter, they lost the 1st set and won the 2nd one. As soon as they won that set, I had no doubt in my mind that they were going to win the district championship, and I felt that way all the way through until the last point on Notre Dame. And that was a weird feeling for me, being the pessimist, but that's how dominant and how apparent it was in the gym. There was no doubt they were going to win that, so congratulations, ladies. Couple of things. I want to thank our administrative team, Mr. Haney, Dr. Boyd, and all of our administrators in the district. They help with supervision, among a lot of other things. So I appreciate their guidance, their help. I want to thank our custodians. As you guys know, when you leave at the end of the evening and you have all the popcorn boxes and water bottles and everything in the bleachers, they come through and they clean up all that stuff, and they do a fantastic job. So I want to thank both our day and our evening custodians. Okay, without any further ado, you want to go ahead and give them a round of applause? They deserve it. They deserve it, so thank you. Our last program of the night, last but definitely not least, we've got girls golf with Coach McDaniel. So our biggest girls golf team we've ever had with 9 golfers. So come on up, Coach, and talk about those girls.
Thank you, Mr. Nix. I have to start off with a bunch of thank yous because we were just talking, it takes a village to do sports and with our players in our school. So first, the district for the opportunity to represent. My girls will tell you, we drive far to play golf. The closest team is 30 minutes, and that's Farmington. So to even have the opportunity to represent in the fall as a girls golf team and not to have girls play in the spring with the boys is great. Mr. Nix in the athletic department, we changed our schedule up mid-season, added a couple of matches, dropped a couple of matches, added a tournament, dropped a tournament. And he was quick to make those changes because it was to the benefit of our players, so thank you for doing that. Teachers here at St. Genevieve High School, it's no secret we miss a lot of school. I miss a lot of school. Without the resiliency of my athletes, but also their teachers being flexible and willing to make that work, it wouldn't be as easy as it is to be gone. Chad Shilley, St. Gen Golf Club, and the members, we use their course and their facilities. The members are always asking about the girls, how many do you have, how did golf camp go? They hosted a golf camp and let me come out and help them host a golf camp this summer. In addition, we also hosted sectionals this year, and the golf course staffed half of our volunteers for that sectional. So their support is always great, and it's growing as the years go on. Kyle Schweiss for marking at sectionals. Various media outlets, including Jason Viox and the Herald, KTJJ, J98, KFMO, Sun Times, Daily Journal, and then this year Todd from Maritime for making golf look like all-stars. We don't get a lot of coverage typically, but we were on the front page and got pictures and stuff. That was pretty cool, so we always appreciate that. My family, my brother is my assistant coach behind the scenes, so he helps me there. But then also my family came out and did a lot at the sectional tournament for me, so I appreciate all their help. My husband, in addition to being a supportive coach's husband, he also decided, you know what, you need a marker? Sure, I'll volunteer and mark for the first time ever in a district golf tournament, no problem. So I appreciate all of his support. All of my parents, and I'll get to my parent support here in a minute as well, but it's not highly attended. We go to places where there are kids that will make a comment that their parents don't even come out, or they never have anybody watching them. But I can't say that. Every single one of my players had someone out on the golf course this season, and that is just the kind of support they provided to their girls on the course, off the course, at school. So I just appreciate all you guys do coming out and supporting your girls and the team. And then, of course, I have to thank my players. You make the season fun and memorable and wonderful. It is a long season because it starts before school does, but you guys make it worthwhile and fun and enjoyable, so I appreciate you making coaching such a joy. Our season, I started to write this speech and I realized I've been doing this for 5 years. That means the program itself started 5 years ago. So in our 5 years, we've done a lot. We've had a state individual runner-up. That's great. We've had a tournament title and a tournament title to defend. That's pretty great, too. We've set and shattered team and individual records, as well as set and shattered multiple team goals and individual goals. Some of that we even did this season. All that said, there's something I've never been able to say, that we have 9 golfers. We've had 3, we've had 4, we've even had 6, but never 9. It takes 5 to score, or not 5 to score, but 4 to score, and usually we play about 5. So to have 9, we're growing, and that's great. We still remain fairly inexperienced. We had 6 new golfers this year with only 3 returning players, and we set lofty goals for our season, both individually and team-wise. Our team scoring goal was under 470 for 18 holes and 235 for 9 holes. And while you're just shy of that 18-hole goal, we were about in the 480s a lot. We did break our 9-hole goal of 235 twice. once at 221 in a dual match against Cape Notre Dame at home, and then again at home with 229 against Jackson and Farmington. And that Cape Notre Dame match, I have to bring it up because I said I'd talk about my parents some more. The golf course kind of rattled me a little bit. They weren't expecting as many people to come out and watch a dual match as they were that day. They said they had at least 2 golf carts of parents watching players for every single group out on the golf course, in addition to those that were walking. And that was from both sides of the team, but I mean, we had so many fans out that day. And that was just really cool to break our team goal with 221 with so many people out to watch, so that was great. When learning golf, or I'm sure in any sport, sometimes improvement can't be measured by the score. And that being said, we started out the season really relying on double par or a 10-stroke limit per hole. And by the district golf tournament, we really didn't need it. As a coach and as coaches in the district, we always talk about what are we going to do when it comes district time, and we have to tell our players there is no stroke limit. And that's kind of a scary conversation. And I didn't really worry about that this year. I really felt like our girls were prepared to not be limited to a stroke limit, and that wasn't going to hurt us, that we needed it to rely on. And they really came out in districts and proved that. The amount of shots that we added to our arsenals this season surpasses previous season. We really learned to play the golf course and swing the golf club a different way in order to manage a golf course that fit our golf game. We showed great integrity all over the course. We showed control over our games, and we hit every shot to the best of our abilities. I would normally add all the delightful and cringy moments that I've had with the girls throughout the season, but as I'm writing the speech, I can't narrow it down to one day because it literally is every day that I'm cringing at things that they say or things that they do or things that I overhear that I wish I didn't, and the jokes that you shouldn't laugh at, but then you get home and you're thinking about it in your head and you're like, wow, that's really funny. So I think I'm going to spare it. I do have a couple, but as I bring them up, I'll talk about those. First, I'll start off with my freshmen. As you guys come up, just stand up here in front of everybody, face that way. Okay? Freshman Etta Heller. Etta wants me to talk slow, so she's the only one standing up here for a really long time. Just kidding. Etta has been a very pleasant surprise this season. Her swing is very, very natural, and she's picked up nuances of the game very quickly. I've watched her fall in love with golf and really dedicate herself to the sport this season. Towards the end of the season, Etta started breaking into the 50s for 9 holes. And I know with her dedication to the sport and her work in the off-season, she will continue to bring her scores down and lead into a great sophomore season. I gotta clear my throat. Maggie, Miracle. AKA Marge. If you don't already know, Maggie is a competitor. She's very, very competitive. She's new to the game. She came out to summer camp, and I didn't scare her away, so she stuck it out for the fall season. As a fierce competitor, she has taken on the game of golf with the same ferocity. She's contributed in several tournaments and matches at the varsity level throughout the season and made lots of improvements on the course. Just like Etta, and probably with Etta, I know Maggie will continue to hone her skills this spring and summer to be ready for the next fall. Drew Newman, freshman. She is not here with us, but I'm sure she wishes she was. Sophomores, Brooke Turner. Also a newcomer this season, started out by coming to summer camp. Her swing came a long way from the camp to the course, and she played golf courses with great strategy. She remained positive regardless of what was happening in her game, and I enjoyed watching her fall in love with the sport too, and then watching that return dividends. I could rattle off probably dozens of stories just about Brooke. But the one I'm actually choosing to tell isn't funny. At districts, we have markers. So for the first time all season, we actually have an adult that goes with every group and marks down what they're doing. Up until that point, the girls are their own referees. They call their own penalties, they call their own rules, they take their own scores. So most of the time, this person's usually a golf course volunteer, maybe a teacher, school employee. In Brooke's case, it was an assistant coach for a private school out of St. Louis. And after Brooke's round of districts, which unfortunately did not qualify for sectionals, her marker sought me out to tell me that she was in awe of Brooke's integrity. It seems that at the end of a hole, you have to go over the scores at the end of the hole. So the player compares it to the markers and they make sure it matches. Well, Brooke and the marker were having a discrepancy. The marker had Brooke down for a score lower than Brooke had for herself. So Brooke started going over her shots, And she had, when the marker asked how she got that, she goes, well, when I was over there behind that tree, I swung and I missed, so that's a stroke. She goes, so I had this number. And the coach just kind of looked at her. I guess she's marked for tournaments for years, and never in her life has she had a player correct her to go higher on their own personal score, including admitting a whiff, which nobody else saw except for Brooke. So, yeah. That same coach, because we hosted sectionals, told me, asked about Brooke at first, and then she said she went back to her players and she told them Brooke's story and said she hopes that's the players that she coaches because she thought that was just amazing. So I had to tell the story. I'm sorry, it's not a funny one, but I know she will work hard in the off season and she will come out ready to go in the fall. Sophomore Boston Williams. B-Town. Boston, like many of her teammates, started out her golf career this summer at camp. She makes great movement in her golf swing and has a real drive to get better. Like Brooke, Boston fell hard for golf this season, and the love was returned by the game. Boston likes to strike a pose. You probably missed it. She did it when she came up here. Okay. Anytime on the golf course, whether there's a camera or not, I can count on Boston to strike a pose. And I would expect nothing less from her. And I look forward to seeing her off-season work pay off for her in the fall. Next to my juniors, Zoe Finley. Zoe is a gift to me from softball moving to the spring. So she's new this year because softball was played in the fall and the spring. Because it moved to the spring, I now get Zoe in the fall, so I'm thankful for that. Zoe has 3 traits that contribute well to her success on the golf course. She's very athletic, she's very easygoing, and she's very hardworking. And she worked hard. I guess she was talking about swinging in her backyard with Dad, so Dad, shout out to you. Thanks for doing that. Her swing has come a long way since the beginning of the season. However, trying to get the softball out of a golf swing and vice versa, I can't wait to see what your coach says in the spring about your swing for softball. But she has a lot of potential, so I hope that she sticks with it and builds on her skills this summer. Junior, Josie Geisner. Josie rehabbed back from an injury to be a contributor for us in the second half of the season. She has a good understanding of the game of golf and the golf swing, which leads to a lot of success for her on the golf course. Watching Josie on the golf course is like watching someone in their natural habitat. She just fits. It's where she belongs. She looks natural. She looks easygoing. Nothing stresses her out. She's very quick about looking at a shot and deciding what strategy she needs to take. So it's really cool to watch someone who just is in their natural place on the golf course. I know this season isn't what she hoped for, but I know her senior season will be one for the books. Next junior, Bella Burton. Bella had a very productive season, but it was frustrating at the same time. This season really tested Bella's patience and love for the game. She made several great strides this season in terms of her swing, her shot arsenal, and mental game, but these didn't lead to the season that we were both so hoping for. She co-medaled in our dual meet with Cape Notre Dame at home to lead our team to beat our team goal of 235. She narrowly missed qualifying for sectionals, something I know next year won't be a problem. Her consistency led this team, and I'm proud of the way she handled herself on the golf course because it wasn't an easy year. However, given this season was a test, Bella passed. I know Bella's hungry for a strong senior season with rounds consistently in the 40s and 50s, and that she also has and will continue to put in the hard work to get there. And last but not least, junior Cami Grass. Cami was a key player in a lot of our matches and tournaments this season. Her golf swing is also very natural, and she works very hard to keep it progressing in the right direction. Her even keel on the golf course and competitive mindset allowed her to battle back in some rounds to lead the team throughout the season. Cami's highlight of the season was placing 10th at the Lutheran South Invitational at the beginning of the year, which also was on our district golf course. So to watch her perform well at the beginning of the year on the course that we were going to play for districts was really neat. Just like Bella, she narrowly missed qualifying for sectionals, which was a hard pill to swallow. And while Cami's junior season was strong for a second-year golfer, she's on the cusp of being really a force for next season. So like Bella, with some continued hard work this spring and summer, her next season will be her best yet. So can I have a round of applause for these guys? Don't go anywhere just yet. I have 3 awards I would like to give out tonight. Spirit of the Game Award, the Most Improved Player Award, and the Most Valuable Player Award. The Spirit of the Game Award goes to a player who constantly upholds the game of golf. The recipient knows and upholds the rules and integrity of the game, leads by example on the golf course both in competition and in practice, and is a true student of the game. This person should show humility, patience, and mental toughness on the golf course while also consciously trying to grow the game of golf. While her perseverance, hard work, and mental toughness didn't pan out the way we had hoped, she never once let the game of golf down and still fell more in love with the game. This year's recipient Spirit of the Game Award is Bella Burton. The Most Improved Player Award recipient was a pleasant surprise for me this season. Her steady improvement from day one to the last tournament of the season came through a combination of natural ability and hard work. New to the game this season, that was no excuse for this player as she contributed at the varsity level all season. This player had a 12-stroke differential from her highest 9-hole score of the season to her lowest this season, and in her rookie season, broke 60 for 9 holes, not once, but twice. The first time was in a tri-match at Crown Point where she shot 54 to lead the team that day. The second was at home in our dual match versus Cape Notre Dame, where she shot 58 to help our team break our team goal of 235. Don't let her bun fool you. She is serious about golf. This year's Most Improved Player Award goes to Brooke Turner. Normally you could tell how Brooke was doing based on where the bun was. If it was high, it was going to be a good day, but then it would sag, you just look at her. Usually in the back of the van, I'm like, Brooke, what's up? Don't talk to me. It's early. Okay. The MVP award goes to a player with the lowest 9-hole score and 18-hole scoring average for the season. This player's 9-hole scoring average was 54.25, and 18-hole scoring average was 106.67. Her top 10 finish at Lutheran South, her 18-hole rounds in the low 100s at tournaments, and her match scores in the 50s led this team to success this season. This year's MVP award goes to Cammie Grass. Ladies, congrats on a great season. I can't wait until next season, and I look forward to hearing all about your off-season hard work so that you're ready for next fall. Thank you.
All right. Before we let you guys go, Jason Viox, our guy from the Herald, is on his honeymoon right now. Just got married this past weekend. Congratulations to Jason. Jason the stud. But he won't be here tonight, but Megan Aubuchon is going to take pictures of you guys out in the commons. She was wanting to do it like after each group, and we're not going to do that. But we will let you take pictures, Megan, out in the commons. So listen to Megan out there. When she gets you guys together into groups, do what she says, okay? So if you were an award winner tonight, if you were all conference, all district, all state, any postseason award like that, stick around. And Megan, good luck. We got 50-50 and banner winners. All right, 50-50 tickets, get those out. The winner of $37. 5, 4, 8, you gotta bring your ticket with you too. 0, 5, 0. Gary? Attaboy. Congratulations, Gary. All right. Banner winners. Okay. I'm just going to reach in, pull one out. That's the winner. So if I pull your name, take the banner on your way out. If I don't pull your name, don't take the banner. Golf. We'll do golf first. The winner of the golf banner is Boston Williams. The Williams family just keeps on winning. All right, volleyball. Bye-bye. Marissa Fleeg. And cross country. Alina Bader. All right. Thank everybody for coming. It was a fantastic evening. Be safe on your way home, and go Dragons.